and start admitting.
I will take care of that. Okay, letting people in now.
Good evening. Welcome in. Good evening. Find a comfy seat. I'm just going to wait a couple minutes as people are filing in. I'll ask you to mute your microphones as you come in.
Yes.
But, you know, they have a, basically an ER, they put you in there and they do all the things and stuff. I had another MRI of my brain. That was the first thing they wanted to do.
Good evening and welcome in. As people are taking their seats and getting comfy, we'll ask you to just mute your microphones and we'll get started in just a couple minutes. Hello and welcome if you're just coming in. We're getting started in just a couple minutes. I'll ask you to just mute your microphones. Good evening and welcome in. If you're just joining us, get comfy. We are about to get started. We're just waiting for a few more people. Please mute your microphones. We'll be with you in a minute. Okay. And for the last few coming in, welcome, welcome. We're about to get underway. If you'll just mute your microphones as you come in. Delighted to see everybody. Thanks so much.
There's Judy Clayton.
All right. Held about the obligatory 5-minute curtain, so I think we'll get underway. Thank you all so much. All right. Well, welcome all. There may be a few more people shuffling in and finding their seats in their living rooms as we get started, but please make yourselves comfortable. and thank you so much for being here. Good evening, or good morning, I guess, depending on where in the world you are visiting us from. My name is Nicholas Kafori-Horner, and I am the co-director of 1001 Plays. I'd also like to introduce Kristen Johnson-Neshati, co-director and founder of 1001 Plays. We're so very delighted to welcome you to our first reading of this year's exchange. Tonight, we'll present 6 original student works engaging this year's theme, trust. As you get settled, we'd like to remind you of a few housekeeping items. The exchange consists of 2 parts, a reading and a live talkback. During the first part, we ask that you keep your cameras off and your microphones muted. Take a second and make sure that those things are all set. Chat will also be disabled during the reading segment, and this presentation is being recorded for archival and promotional purposes. So please note that. After the reading segment, which will last about an hour, we'll invite you to turn on your cameras and join us for the live talkback where we get to hear each other and see each other and directly engage. At George Mason University, we are so pleased to welcome several returning and several new global partners to the exchange. Returning this year are partners from China, Brazil, and Canada. And joining us for the first time are partners from Kenya, Peru, and South Korea. We'll introduce you to those faculty mentors shortly, but welcome partners all. This year, we also received a record number of new works with 35 student-written submissions coming from 7 representative countries. It's unbelievable turnout this year. As artist educators, it's exciting for us to see this exchange fire creativity and engender cross-cultural engagement and create a context for talking about art and our world. At the center of this exchange is our mission, connecting audiences and playwrights from worlds apart. A few things that you should know about 1001 Plays and the exchange itself, which support this mission. 1001 Plays is free for participants, global partners, and audiences. The exchange does not require travel or other student expense. All you need to participate is an internet connection, a webcam or a phone, and an idea. And the exchange is open to any student as long as they're sponsored by an educational or training program, our global partners. The exchange focuses on process over product, allowing playwrights to hear their own words read aloud and an opportunity to reflect on what they have written with a live audience. As such, we'd like to share a facet of this exchange before we begin. I'd like to introduce you to our faculty mentors. These mentors companion all of the student writers throughout the process. So first up, I'd like to introduce you to Paulo Ricardo Berton from Santa Catarina Federal University in Brazil. Welcome, Paulo. We're delighted to see you. Next, Christopher, CJ as we call him, Odhiambo Joseph from Moi University, Kenya. A new partner this year. We're thrilled to welcome you to the exchange. Janet Sears, a returning partner from University of Toronto, Canada. Welcome, Janet. Good to see you. Gao Alex, as he was introduced to us, Ziwen, from Nanjing University, China. Alex could not be with us this evening, but we are delighted to have him be a part of the exchange again this year. Thank you so much, Alex, and welcome to your students as well. And we are joined by 2 other faculty mentors throughout the exchange. They do not have students who are having work read this evening, but you will hear some of their students' work throughout the rest of the exchange. The first is Carlos Garcia Rosell Aramburu from the Universidad Peruana de Ciencias Aplicadas in Peru. Welcome, Carlos, to the exchange, a new partner this year, and another new partner this year, Alice Rigglesworth, whom we had the great pleasure of actually meeting today, who hails from Mason, Korea, one of our sister locations in South Korea. Welcome, Alice and all. Before we begin, we'd like to just share something that is kind of important to us as we think through this exchange and as we present this work. When global partners accept students' submissions, we commit to helping them hear their plays in a developmental format that favors process over product. To do this, we cannot always assign roles as we would for a fully realized production, casting actors to represent the racial, ethnic, and gender identities of the characters. Compromises in representation are sometimes necessary in this format for us to cross cultures, languages, and borders as freely as we do. And with that in mind, we're going to jump right into the exchange. So this begins the reading segment of the evening, which again will last about an hour. First up, we'll hear The Night Shift by Eduardo Karaziak from Santa Catarina Federal University in Brazil. We hope you enjoy.
Gazeta do Vale, may I help you? Yes, just a moment. Oliveira, for you?
Yes, wow. How are you, Barcelos? I know the type. I mean, I've heard about it, you know. Yeah, I read what was published about the bloke, but I don't know him, understand? Okay, I'm on shift here, so just make another call and we'll prepare it.
So this Lieutenant Barcelos, who's your source?
By law, I don't need to deny or confirm this.
So what was the bomb?
You know that guy called Ezekiel?
The preacher?
Preacher.
Yeah, isn't he a preacher?
Hey, Pagliaris, you don't read the newspaper, do you?
Not much.
Remember that mess that hit the Bandeirantes Palace with a bomb and all?
Of course, we covered it.
This Ezekiel guy was the guy who headed the whole thing up. My pack is empty. Can I have one?
Take it.
The fella is in his 30s and still at the university. He says he studies, right? You know the type.
The kind that goes in there to make the kids' heads.
Exactly. He is studying philosophy or something to become a teacher, but actually, his focus is to convince a student to become a troublemaker.
Right. And why did Barcelos call you?
The boy is holed up,
So what?
tucked away, under a booby trap.
Why don't you say he's ambushed? Much easier to understand.
Anyway, he's almost caught. That's what the lieutenant said to me. Soon he'll be calling to say they arrested him.
Holy shit. That means we have to stay here until after hours then. If they catch him, we have to write about the prison. If he escapes, we'll have to write about how he made the police a fool.
Again,
But last time it wasn't him.
no. It was another guy of the same type. University student, Che Guevara shirt, and a crazy appetite for vandalism.
But why this need to break things? Tell me.
I was having this conversation with my wife yesterday, you see. I had some good arguments, following logic and such. So do you know what she tells me?
What?
If it weren't for these people to stand up and protest for changes, they wouldn't even have the right to vote or get better wages. Can you believe it?
And you?
And me? How am I going to react to an argument like that without any fuss? Not to mention that an upset woman gets mad as a crazy macaw, right?
Um, Speaking of macaws, have you already seen Cristina de Oliveira's Playboy?
Not yet, but what for? She appears with her breasts out all the time in the soap opera on TV.
Boy, you're disdaining serious work.
Do you have it there?
The girl's a princess, a mermaid. Yeah.
Boy,
January edition is always the best of the year. Summer,
really fine stuff. Fine thing.
Told you, princess.
Hello? Speak up, Barcelos. So what happened? Ah, escaped, really. In the back. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. And the corporation would like something in particular to be mentioned in the article? Right. Right. We will develop something favorable here. Leave it to me.
They get around the cops?
The guy is good. That can't be denied. He's already got away from so many times in which he was cornered.
So what are we gonna write?
Something quick, because it's already 3 a.m. and I'm sick and tired of this shift.
But that doesn't even go into the Sunday edition, not at this hour. The newspaper's already left the press. It must be delivering by this time.
Do you have another cigarette?
Take it. Hey, Oliveira.
Hmm?
Aren't you tired yet?
From what?
Everything. Work, marriage, this late night shift that we have to do, these same false reports. Everything.
Ah, yes. Normal. Who doesn't get tired of life, right? But what will you do?
I don't know. Put the foot down.
Do you want to leave?
Break good for a change.
So it says break bad for a change. Otherwise, you distort the expressions.
So, are we gonna break bad for a change?
Are you looking for trouble? The next step, you are telling me you want to go back to being a university student soon.
We'll probably write something like, marginals try to destroy building, or police confront violent protesters. And what if we reverse things to young people protesting for improvements are silenced by police, or police violently attack students?
And why the hell would I want to shoot myself in the foot, Palhares?
Because you're fed up with life too, and keep doing the same thing. So there's no way to change anything. Look here. I have a good phrase noted here. Madness is to keep doing the same thing and expect different results. Albert Einstein.
All right. So what?
That's where we could invert the paper characters. Another narrative, you know?
Do you have another job in mind, Pagliaris? Because I don't have anything. And our little name deer will be stamped on the article.
There's the cat's jump. We'll give the authorship to someone else. The name of someone who doesn't even exist here. We register it in the afternoon and bye.
I don't know.
If we publish something favorable to the police, things are the same. But if it's the other way around, we can change the course of things.
What things?
Look, Olivera, have you ever stopped to think that if it weren't for these people willing to take rubber shots instead of just doing the night shift, would we still be working 16 hours a day? Or there would be no salary on vacation if I had a vacation at all? Here, take this. Smoke a cigarette. Think about it. I have to give it a go.
You. Thank you so much. Outstanding. We'd like to thank all actors, creative team members, and management who worked on the night shift. Thank you very much. And now we'll move to our next piece as we let a few other friends come in. Welcome. Our next piece is Widowed Before Death. Welcome, come on in. There we go. Just letting a few other people join. Please remember to keep your cameras off and microphones muted. All right, our next piece up is Widowed Before Death. And that is by Felix Murage Mburu from Moi University in Kenya.
The space opens to a pregnant woman who is struggling to sleep on center stage. Next to her is her husband, who is sound asleep, snoring as loud as he can. These two are Lament and Mirage. Lament gets up, and as she hums a tune to herself, she begins to pack clothes of a newborn baby in a bag that she later takes to their newly furnished living room, leaving it on the table. Mirage should cough on his own saliva, which will make him wake up to notice Lament is no longer in bed.
Mama Sema. Mama Sema?
Okay, honey, I'll be there and ah! Oh!
You sure? You sure you're okay? Are you positive?
Honey, I think the baby.
I got it. Yeah, right now. You have 5 minutes to be here. Favor's coming, honey. Just a few minutes.
Dad, am I gonna be a brother again? My sister's coming right now. Why is Mom screaming every 3 minutes? What time is it? I heard Mom saying the baby. I thought they only came in the daytime. Should I wake Nyangwa? Mom, what is going on?
Stop it with your stupid questions and go check if Fave is here. I'll check for Nyangwa. Nyangwa! Who the hell gave birth to this stupid boy? He sleeps like the dead.
Where is she?
Fave, finally.
Mirage and Fave carry Lament, who is still in pain, out of space. Seema tries to follow, but he's given a single stare by Mirage that tells him otherwise. Hospital noises are heard as a doctor walks towards a troubled Mirage, who is seated holding his head facing the ground, as if he's praying. He notices the doctor and stands.
Sir, we are happy to announce that you are a proud father to a baby girl, and both the mother and child are safe.
All right, good. Thank you, doctor. Can I see any of them?
Yes, you can, but only for a few minutes, just so that they can get some rest.
Sure.
Doctor and a happy Mirage leave murmuring to each other. Hospital noises are heard from the background. Seema and Lament get into space. Seema is pacing up and down as Lament looks for a place to sit and gets seated. She is calm as she watches Seema and smiles to herself. Seema gets seated next to his mother, holds his head facing the ground as if praying.
Doctor, you should be having good news or else I will snap your neck.
What?
You heard me, didn't you? Just speak.
Well, sir, I'm happy to announce that your wife gave birth to a beautiful baby girl.
Seems you got lucky again. Can I see them?
Yes, you can, but we'll need to hold them here for a couple days since your wife needs a bit of observation before discharging her.
Yeah, whatever. Mom, are you coming?
Seema pushes the doctor aside. Mirage leaves to see his wife and child.
Thank you.
Lament leaves the doctor. A lot of noise is heard with Toots shouting, Mateus booming music, and people conversing. Nyangwa, Seema, and Mirage get into space with carrier bags that seem to be filled with clothes and baby toys. The Toots noise should continue as the three converse.
I am really tired and hungry. Dad, can you buy us something to eat? Then when the car jugs us, we don't die.
No, sometimes I wonder if your mom was cheating on me. You're always so hungry and so sleepy. Maybe we should take you to a hospital for a checkup.
Dad, he's your son because the snoring nowadays sounds a lot like yours. And the way he's tripping girls out here, those skills only belong to you, the one and only.
And you, with your mouthy self, here, take. Go buy us something to eat and be fast before this matatu gets filled.
Why are you so harsh with me, Dad? Yet I am your exact photocopy. Seema is the one who looks like the ex-member among us.
Shut up! What is you and your brother always talking back to me like we're age mates? I am your father. Tame that mouth or I will beat the manners out of you.
Matatu noises increase with the Toots shouting more as the two get into a conversation with the Toot. Seema joins them with packed food and they follow the Toot as he goes to show them which Matatu to get in.
Listen, I'll see you guys back at home. I believe you know where to alight from.
Dad thinks I have no idea what he's been doing lately.
What has he been up to lately? And for what reason did he not reach home with us?
And for what reason do you think I'm not answering back? Let's just get home.
It would have been better if you told me. Maybe I know something you don't.
Life isn't like your high school exams. You can't just get an A in every subject.
Not really, but things cannot be as bad as you insinuate them to be.
Yeah, I know. Let's just hurry up before Mom leaves for home.
Yeah, sure. But I know things about Dad that none of you guys know.
Yeah, that's cool and all, but nobody cares. Mostly me.
Enter a bunch of drunk people murmuring to each other from both sides. Wambui should enter after them and murmur to the drunkards, who will try to flirt with her to their disappointment. Barrage enters from stage left and finds a place to sit where he is approached by Wambui.
Hello, fine sir, and welcome to Saga Club. What may we get you this fine evening?
I'll get one cold beer, please.
Right away, sir.
Wait, a moment, please, if you don't mind.
You want to order more?
Maybe more than I had imagined for me,
Please make your order fast. I have to attend to other customers.
Ooh, and you're hardworking also. Hmm, well, if I had seen this coming, I would have been here earlier enough.
I think you lost me on the way. I wish I had time for this, but if you have no other order, I'll be on my way.
No. No sooner had I thought at my age, nothing could amuse me more after 20 years of marriage and 2 grown men at my watch. And then you appeared. So tell me, mother of all creation, what is your name?
Wow. Old man, listen to me and listen keenly. I am a married woman seeking.
And I am a married man, young woman. Now, if I was on the drink, I'd say that's the only similarity we need for this to work.
The only thing working here is you on my nerves.
If I do not get this one, I will, in the first time in my 52 years of age, accept that I am old. Mama Sima was way more path than that when she was her age. Man, every man in our village invented all sorts of unseen stunts and approaches just to bag her. But who? Who was the one destined to end up with her on their first approach? But such is life, you know?
Old man, the only one who talks to her that long is her weird husband.
If he gets another chance, his next bill is on me.
Bombay Cigara.
Wambui comes back with Mirage's beer.
Now your husband seems to have a bad reputation in this place. Is he the bouncer or something?
And why do you care?
Well, why shouldn't I?
Well, if you wish to flirt with him also, I'll be glad to show you the way to his office.
Now, what makes you think I'd be interested to flirt with him when I'm already doing so with his wife? I mean, I'd be wrong to say he barely does this as oftenly with you, no?
What do you mean?
Now, a woman with a perfect husband would be disgusted at the second sight of, well, an older version of said husband flirting with her in public.
Go, Grandpa.
That means you're enjoying
And
it.
a man with a perfect wife would be ashamed at himself flirting with his daughter.
Well, I wouldn't mind if I had to learn a few lessons from my daughter.
Oh, Mirage, I see you've met my beautiful wife.
Old friend! So you're the one she's been mentioning all the while.
Oh, is this so? I see you've still kept your appetite.
Okay, well, listen, reforming from the bottle was the hardest thing I went through. I mean, I thought I'd stay happy for the rest of my life after such a bold step.
And now you see yourself back to the same old saga. I sure hope your wife finds nothing of this.
Well, for the past 6 months, she's noticed nothing that I can say.
Same old hypocrite, I see.
Now, you said you had something for me, old friend.
Yeah, I did. And it's like you had your hands all over it before I came.
Okay, I'll take my leave now.
If I wasn't as surprised as I am at the moment, I would grab you by the neck and strangle you to death. I am not as old as you think to get things for myself. Now, to the business that brought me here, if you don't mind.
Whoa, I meant no harm, old friend. Let's just go to my office to discuss your overwhelming presence here.
Wambui comes into space on upstage left. She is angry, pacing up and down. Enter John from the same place.
Just spare me the lecture and let's just stick to the plan.
I'm tired of all of this. I thought I'd had enough of your type.
Yeah, my type. Is that supposed to be an insult or what?
Take it however you want, but I will not lie with another man twice my age just for your stupid plans.
Stupid plan? I thought you wanted to do this for your late dad.
I did, but I never thought it
Thought
would...
about what? This has to be done. Mirage has to lose everything.
What do you mean? I thought we were just to make him lose his shop.
Yeah, I meant that. That shop and everything belonged to your father. Not forgetting that piece of land that he owns. This is supposed to be ours, all of them.
John, are you sure we're still on the same page here? And have you seen Lament lately? If you're doing this,
I'm doing this
her,
for no one. I'm doing this for your late dad, who happened to be my own father-in-law.
I sure hope you mean what you're saying. Whatever your intentions are, just don't forget who I am.
It's been decades since I saw you, and I cannot stop to always think of you. After your betrayal and giving birth to 3 children for this fool, I will not rest until I see you troubled by his sight. You will not crawl towards me, but you will remember my name. Remember me.
He leaves the stage. Lament enters the stage, followed by a drunk Mirage who is trying to pull her back by her cloth.
Let me alone. Let me leave. I am sick and tired of all this.
Then go, leave. Who needs you? I can raise her all by myself.
Then let me go. Then why are you still holding me?
Well, who the hell is holding you? You know what? Leave, woman. No, nobody leaves you here.
Let go of my cloth then. One movie will be a better wife than I have been. She's even a better cook, you've confirmed. The next thing I'll do is bite your hand off my cloth.
Wait. I know. Instead of you leaving and abandoning your stupid sons with a drunkard of a man like me, maybe I'm the one who should go. Yes, me.
Yes, good idea. Go. The door is wide open for you. Be sure no one is going to stop you.
No, I will leave and join my mom in her grave. You stupid woman. You should never step a foot near my grave. Hey, Seema, Nyongwa, your father's leaving. He's leaving for good.
Yes, leave. Nobody is stopping you. Shall I get you a pair of socks?
Quiet, woman. You listen. I am the man of this house. I'm the lion of this pride. I am the one who calls the shots here. Now, if you want to leave, if I want to leave, whoever's leaving, I will do it on my own accord. Do you understand me?
No, I understand none of your nonsense. If you're not going to leave, I will. My mother is not dead and she will take me back.
No, you will. You stupid.
Lament makes an attempt to leave, but Mirage gets hold of her cloth again. They wrestle each other, murmuring to each other inaudibly as they leave the stage doing so. Seema and Nyongwa enter the stage looking sleepily and in their pajamas. Both should sit together at stage left.
For real, Dad is getting on my nerves. Why should we all lack sleep just because he's drunk again?
You are worried about lack of sleep, and our lives are taking a shift, bro.
Why do you say that?
I thought nothing ever misses your eyes, Mr. Know-It-All.
If you ever say that one more time, I'm knocking one of your teeth out.
Dad has been different lately since he left us on the bus. He has been visiting that John, the owner of Saga Pub.
Yeah, and he's been sleeping with John's wife, Wambui.
So you know.
That's what's made him see Mom like she's nothing. He never wants her to leave, and at the same time, he doesn't want to see her. If you've noticed, Mom is the only one that's been settling the bills in this house, because Dad is always drunk.
End of play.
Thank you so much, all actors and creative team members and management who worked on Witted Before Death. Thank you. Next up, We'll hear monologue number 2 by Himali Ratnawira, from the University of Toronto in Canada.
Lochni and Muhan are on a couch. There's a table in front of them. Lochni coughs as they both have just finished an entire blunt.
I really need to eat something.
So eat?
I don't really have much to eat. Oh, how about grilled cheese?
That's very American of you. Slight pause. Lochni seems taken aback.
Oh, okay. Huh. Now that I think about it, I guess you're right. That is pretty American of me. I don't know why, but I assume everyone liked the grilled cheese. It just seems so easy to make. I mean, you literally only need a bread and a slice of cheese and some butter, I guess. This is really weird.
Lochni gets up to start making the grilled cheese.
I mean, I guess I technically grew up a little in America, but I'm not American. I just ate grilled cheese growing up. Wait a minute. Maybe this is why I don't like food from home as much as everyone else. Maybe I didn't have enough time to actually like it and grow up with it, to get that sense of nostalgia everyone gets when they eat food from their home country. Maybe this is why I don't get that warm hug kind of feeling when I eat grilled cheese or when I eat string hoppers. Neither feels like home. I don't know. I don't know why this bothers me so much. I mean, it's not like I don't like chicken curry or grilled cheese or any of that other stuff that I ate growing up. It was all great. I guess I'm just having trouble feeling connected to it. Not that you need to feel connection to food. I guess it would just be nice to feel at home with some aspect of my life. Maybe. I don't know. I feel really weird. Is this why I don't feel as connected to my culture as I should? I mean, I don't even speak my mother tongue fluently. What does that make me? Some kind of half-baked Asian person?
Lochni stops and stares at his grilled cheese in the making. He looks kind of sick.
Do I even get to say I am?
He walks back to the couch and places the plate on the table in front of him. Then he moves it towards Muhan.
Here, you have it. I'm not really hungry anymore.
Thank you. Monologue 2. Thank you. And now we move to Dinner at the Pearl Dragon by Christina Gross from the University of Toronto, Canada.
A Chinese-American buffet. There are dragon sculptures and red lanterns everywhere. It's a few nights before the wedding. Eileen and Joe sit next to each other at the table as family members shuffle in and out from grabbing their plates of food.
I'm so sorry that we're here. I tried to tell Mom that it's fucking weird to bring you here, but
Joe.
Are you sure? We don't have to stay if you don't want to.
No, Joe, don't be ridiculous. I'm not upset or anything. It's a thoughtful gesture, and I love buffets. You know that.
I just...
It'll be fun.
Enter Agnes, Joe's mother. She sits down next to Eileen.
I just love the sushi here. It's so good. Did you get some, Eileen?
I did. It's very good.
Oh, isn't it? I haven't had sushi this good anywhere else.
I think I've had better, actually.
It's good. Sushi's always good.
Enter Stephen, Joe's younger brother. He plops down right next to Joe.
I haven't been here in so long. They have a fucking chocolate fountain now.
Steven, language.
What? It's like the best thing to happen to this place.
Steven, that's disrespectful.
Mom, how is that disrespectful? It's a chocolate fountain. The Chinese have chocolate fountains too, right, Eileen?
Oh, yeah.
See? Not disrespectful.
Do you like the food, Eileen? Is it a taste of home?
The food is lovely, thank you.
You've all been here before? I don't think I've heard of this place.
Oh, yes, we've been here a couple times for birthdays and so on. I think it opened a year after you moved away.
Yeah, it must have. I don't remember hearing about it.
Used to be like a Dave and Buster's or some shit.
Steven, I really do not appreciate your language.
Sorry. It used to be a Dave and Buster's or something.
So much has changed since you moved away, Joey.
Enter Gene, Joe's dad. He sits down next to Agnes.
I wait 20 goddamn minutes for the roast beef and get this shitty piece. We are never coming back.
I'm sorry, dear. Do you want me to speak to someone about it?
Oh, so he gets to say shitty?
He's your father, Steven.
And I'm 23 years old, Mom.
You want me to get you a new piece, honey?
No, that wouldn't be any fun. I'll just suffer now and get a new piece later.
I didn't even know that there was roast beef here.
Oh, it's back there in the corner, I think, like almost where the bathrooms are.
Good to know for next round.
Oh, Eileen, you barely got any food.
Oh no, Mr. Johnson, I finished most of my plate already.
Joe, go get your fiance some roast beef, will you?
Oh, I don't know if.
Go.
Okay. Do you want some too, Dad?
Yes. Until the fucker cutting it in the back that if it isn't thick enough to slap him into a coma, I don't want it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'll make sure not to tell him that. Be right back.
Thanks, Joe.
Joe leaves to grab the roast beef. He maybe gives Eileen a little peck on the cheek before he goes.
So, Eileen, does this remind you of home? Is this like what you'd eat there?
Oh, well, kind of. Similar flavors. It's all very good.
Do they have buffets there?
Oh, well, yes, we have buffets too. And we definitely have some restaurants that are decorated in a similar style, but we don't really call them Chinese buffets in the way you would call them Chinese buffets here. Yeah, to us it'd just be, well, a buffet.
Oh.
Well, I mean, I guess in Taiwan, the Chinese would be implied, right? Like, I guess you wouldn't really call it a Chinese buffet anyways. Too political. Wouldn't want to start a war.
Well, I mean, Chinese can be translated in a lot of ways in Mandarin. It doesn't necessarily have to be associated with, mainland China. It can be more cultural. It's difficult to explain, but yeah, I guess so.
What do they serve? I bet the food is just spectacular.
Don't you eat like intestines and blood in Taiwan?
Steven, that's rude to ask.
No, I don't mind. Yeah, we eat most parts of the animal. Some of it is really good. I'm personally not that into intestine though. Not a huge fan of the texture.
Do they serve those things in the buffets?
Oh no, not usually. You'll usually find intestines and blood and I guess weird things like that at night markets and street stalls. Buffets are a splurge. They have a whole bunch of foods. Thai, Italian, Indian, a lot of Japanese food, Chinese food too, of course. I'd love to bring you all to one if you visit Taiwan one day. I think you'd all really enjoy yourselves.
So it really is nothing like home then.
Oh, it's reminiscent, but It's different, but it's reminiscent and it's good food. I'm really enjoying myself.
So you don't eat fried rice there, chow mein?
Oh, I mean, we do, but it's just different. There are tons of variations of those foods. So there's all types of fried rice and chow mein. This is one type of it. We just don't really eat this type in Taiwan. When you bring certain cultural foods to a different country, the food, it always changes a bit to fit the palates of the people in the country. You know, like how at McDonald's, it's different everywhere.
But it's still Chinese food.
Yes, but it's just a different style than what we have in Taiwan. It's still fantastic though, and I'm really enjoying it.
But you wouldn't find this at home.
Well, it'd be similar flavors, but it'd be different.
Joe returns with the roast beef and hands it to Jean and Eileen. He sits down.
I'm really sorry, Eileen. I thought it was going to be a nice taste of home, but I think I've upset you.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry. I'm not upset at all. You just asked me about...
What's going on?
I just asked Eileen if this is anything like they'd eat back home. She said no. I think I've really upset her.
Oh, Mom, of course it's nothing like what we have in Taiwan.
I really am not upset. I'm sorry.
I just wanted to bring you some of hope.
Agnes, will you knock it off?
Mom, you don't even... never mind. It's fine. She's not upset.
Agnes, I really do appreciate the gesture. The food is lovely. It was a great choice. I'm loving it so far. I really am. I'm so sorry for upsetting you.
Oh, no, dear. You did not upset me. Excuse me for a moment.
Agnes excuses herself from the table.
Well, your mother's done it again. Don't worry, Eileen. I'll go speak to her in a bit.
Should have just lied to her.
I'm sorry, what?
She should have just lied to her.
Sorry, what happened? What did she say to you, babe?
She was asking some questions and I wanted to have a conversation with her. I didn't know it was, I don't know.
I mean, she's the 61-year-old white lady from Thornhill. What did you expect?
Even will you knock it off? I'm sorry, babe. I think she must be stressed out or something.
Yeah, no, it's fine. I'll go talk to her. I'm sorry, everyone.
You don't have to go talk
I'll go
to
speak
her.
to her. Excuse me.
This roast beef is made out of fucking rubber or something.
Jesus fucking Christ, Dad.
Thank you, cast of Dinner at the Pearl Dragon. Thank you, management. Thank you, crew. Next up, we will go to Bag. And that is by Wangqian Yi from Nanjing University, China.
I see the cubs in the distance, feeding at night. The kangaroo is miserably torn and its abdominal cavity is bleeding harshly. I bark at the dawn, not to mention the wall of the valley. The ants pass by in a row, and the presence was proved only for a second. Under my bear's paw, covered with hundreds of dead bodies, the moose stepped on the dead leaves and got lost in the appetite of the beast. I stood on the high post, watching the creatures being killed one by one.
Your breathing is mixed with the smell of pacemaker, metal, and alcohol.
Leave me alone.
Have some floral water, dear.
Leave me alone.
Look at you, stubborn like a donkey. No, the donkey is the rich Elway. It's a good thing. You, an odious old man, don't deserve to be a donkey. You're a stubborn bear with a sour face.
Well, the bear stands on the hill is the king.
Just look at you. Come on, old man, don't stand still. Sit down.
Put the bag on the hanger.
It is at night. The people look outside very clearly through the balcony. What did the underground pipe say? Walls have ears. The old woman was Aladdin's blanket sewn together with the cloth bag.
Put it on the hanger.
Put on the hanger for you. You don't trust me.
Put it on the hanger.
Put on the hanger for you. You have to trust me, my dear. Don't say the idioms. I'm tired of listening to them. Give me a cloth bag. Let me tear it. A small piece of cloth. A small piece of cloth. Give me one to block my ears. You're deceiving yourself, old man.
Where's the ear and where's the wall?
Come down. Old man, take care not to fall.
Fall? I am eager to do. Oh, here's a sea. Our island is floating.
Look, is that someone else's boat? There are lights. Can you catch me? It's a boat. It's a car. A car is coming.
Isn't it daytime? Where's the light?
Isn't it night? The light is over your head.
Nothing is right.
Stay tuned.
Try to think, why is this?
Your aspirin.
Many things are not right.
Why Kalishi?
Why is this?
Oh, in that yellow cloth bag.
Shut your mouth. Step on your legs. Live a healthy life every day. Reasonable diet. Moderate exercise. Quit smoking and drinking alcohol. Psychological balance.
Your transcendence level is high. Don't you trust me?
Your transcendence level is high.
Your transcendence level is high. Why don't you trust me?
My transcendence level is high. Every day you repeat that.
Your transcendence level is high. You must trust me immediately, old man.
Try to think, why is this?
My old man, a lonely drunk. You must be thinking a lot of things.
It's expensive wine. Come and drink it too.
You must be a good gunner after drinking a Mao Tai. Truly, actually. If you had been born 10 years earlier, the Korean War was not over.
Fry potato wires for you.
And you are more than a potato cake cook.
Don't go. Sit down.
Sit down.
You sit down. I trust you.
Sit down.
You sit down. I only trust you. I will sit over there. You sit down.
Jian Chang oversees education institutions.
I'm a boat. I'm going to drift across the sea. I have to get a visa.
400-888-8888.
To be making a fortune is good. 7 or 8 times of the pension. Drink dozens of bottles, hundreds of bottles. Please drink.
You're the only person I can trust. I had it. Mango soup.
Cross the bridge.
Cross the bridge indeed. The bridge was pulled down after crossing it. Fly to the moon and cannot go back. I want to see you learn the moon.
That one over there, you see? The gray cloth bag which I collect. The cloth is my surface soil, and the handle is the weathered cloth of those national flags. Old people's house, community birthday, Sunset Tea Club, Silver Age College, home retirees.
Where are you going?
How do we get there?
Where's there?
There's only one song left.
I want to see you turn into a song.
The horse passed on the bridge, the widowed mother under the bridge is the negative child drunk. The beggar, the bowl of rice bowls is all up.
My toes cry with your song, my good son. I mean, not that. A little bit. The mackerel soup should be boiled with boiling water. No, it's not.
I mean, you go. Find my bag taken from that restaurant, which is yellow.
How many people come?
The 8-year-old king discovers that the new dress turns out to be red. Your old leader's here. 80-year-old Pinocchio cuts off his wooden nose. The insurance sale guy's here. The 80-year-old halibut can't find the anemone. Old woman, if Ma is still here, he would have come. 80-year-old Phosphorus and Hesperus are looking forward to seeing each other in the next billion years.
Your son learns to take out a takeaway. Very hot weather.
Bang. Long time no see. You still look good.
I don't need insurances. Where's the fire? Burn it. Go to Mars to become an alien.
Okay. Mhm. Okay.
Happy 80th birthday. Where's your head?
You see, I've only been in the rearview mirror for 3 seconds.
My car?
At least your birthday is engraved on the car. It is the kind that can be erased.
Yes.
Bring the bag from the Wenyo restaurant.
At 4,751 Jungguo.
My head is now 1388 yuan.
That should be the foreign Buddha jumping the wall.
Come to have a taste. Eat you. It's your turn. Eat you. Nostrils.
Where's the knife and fork?
Quiet.
Summer sounds cool. Benefits millions of families.
Don't always say the idioms. I'm tired of listening to them. Give me a cloth bag. Let me tear it. A small piece of cloth, small piece of cloth. Give me one to block my ears. I trust you so deeply.
I'm Halley's Comet.
Then I'm done.
I'm Comet Levy 9.
Then I'm Jupiter.
I revolve around you. You're the truth.
I only have you. I love you.
My only trust. Warts on skin, nail inlaid mold, dust and wrinkles, cancer in the body, tumor in the brain, terriers in the blood. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you.
Do you remember the just built 5-horse ferry? You said you were a horse and people really said a nap bag.
Where is it?
Earlier in this year, probably on the shelf below.
You know, I'm a horse. That's because BMW is a pigeon. Jaguar is a pigeon. Land Rover is a pigeon.
Get it. Not just you.
Hey, go look. Look for that. That.
Ashes. It must be ashes. I'm not trusted anymore.
The player is in the string. The architect is making cracks.
I'm listening. It is an island.
I'm not a leprosy patient. Only you're separated by a wall. A wire can cut the throat and the aorta bleeds.
You're too old to keep up, so you only exist 3 seconds in the rearview mirror. If you're a horse, the headlights wouldn't shine on you.
I only walk with you, who I trust. I can talk to you a lot. Those vases don't. Apples don't.
I don't want to.
How do you have no shadow? How do you have no voice? How do you feel nothing? My trust is crushed to the ground.
So I don't want to.
Where's the shadow? Where's the shadow? Where's the shadowy shadow? Where's your shadow? Dear, why do you know the cloth bag? Happy 70th birthday to you, old woman.
Bear stands on the hill. The bear only goes downhill. The bear can't be trusted. No one can be trusted. Only shadows.
Thank you. The cast of BAG, creative team, management, thank you. And last up this evening, but certainly not least, This One or That One by Talia Diaz from Santa Catarina Federal University, Brazil.
Which one do you prefer?
The golden one.
Oh, really? I think it makes my ass too big.
Try the black one on then.
But you said you thought the gold one more beautiful?
Oh, girl. I only agreed to come to this place because of the food court. Doesn't matter either. You look beautiful and everything.
All you can think about is eating, and here I am struggling to fit in a dress.
Stop talking nonsense. You were super hot. You should be more daring.
What do you think of this pink one here?
Where did this dress come from? I don't remember you picking it from.
The seller just brought it. You haven't seen because you're just looking for food promotions on your cell phone.
It's beautiful. But try the gold one on again.
I've already returned it to the seller. Would you take it off the rack for me?
Did you give it back? When?
While you were using your cell phone. Seriously, drop it and help me. The wedding is next week.
Why did you give it back? It's much prettier than this pink one.
I told you, because it makes my ass too big. Now get up off of that puff and go get it back if you want me to try it so bad.
Okay, but I can't assure I'll get the right dress.
So call the seller, will you?
Why all of me?
To get you out of your cell phone.
Okay. Hello? In here? Would you bring that back?
Joanna, I'm naked. Close the curtain.
Oh, that sucks. Everyone knows what an ass looks like. There's nothing new about this. Hi, the gold one? Would you bring it back, please? Thanks.
But nobody knows what my ass is like, and I don't want it to become public property.
Here it is. Give it a try.
Okay.
Look, Burger King has a promotion where the milkshake comes out at half price.
Okay. Okay. Let's go there in a minute. What do you think?
This one is beautiful. Much prettier than the pink one.
And between this and the black one?
That one.
Oh, but look at the size of my ass.
Stop talking nonsense. You're super hot. Everyone will think you're beautiful.
It'll draw a lot of attention.
Then take the black one at once.
But you said you didn't like it.
I liked it more than the pink one. Black is beautiful too. Perfect. Ready, decided. Take it and the subject is closed.
All right. Bring it back then. I've already returned it to the seller.
But again,
I like to try on one at a time, right?
Okay. Hi, that black one?
Joanna, don't open the curtain that way.
Thank you to the cast of this one or that one, and creative team and management. At this point, that concludes our readings, and I'd like to invite everyone in the room to turn on their cameras and join me in a big round of digital applause as we acknowledge all of the playwrights and actors and directors and dramaturgs and stage managers and technical consultants and anyone who worked on any aspect of the plays. Thank you so much for engaging in the process. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well done. As we move into this next section, we're going to be dropping a digital program into the chat, which is there for you. The chat is also going to be re-enabled, so you can feel free to use the chat. We are going to move into our live virtual talkback. So what I encourage you all to do is to open up your cameras. You can have your microphones turned on, raise hands so that we can call on you, and then you can unmute your mic and we'll hear from you. Before we do that, I'd just like to thank our production team, particularly our production manager, Dr. Ruth Yamamoto, our stage manager, Faye Miranda, our assistant stage managers, Sarah Strunk and Rachel Abbott. I'd also like to acknowledge our lighting coordinators, Marin Lemoyne and Caleb McMurtry, our sound coordinator, Sloan Martin, our background coordinator, Sarah Strunk, thank you, thank you. And this evening, as a part of the talkback, we'll be joined by Chinese language interpreter Yufen Xiao, and we'd like to thank her for being with us. So without further ado, we'll jump right into our talkback. Thank you, one and all. And for best possible viewing, you might want to switch your view to gallery view. You can do so by just hovering over your own name, clicking the three dots, or moving up to the corner of your screen, upper right-hand corner, clicking view and selecting gallery view. This is a great opportunity to ask questions of the playwrights, the actors, the creative teams about their work, about the process, or their engagement with this year's theme, trust. So as we see hands or something bubbles up in you, please just throw it out. This is kind of my favorite part. I love to hear what you have to say. Teresa, I see Teresa Ohanian.
Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for this evening. It was a beautiful experience. Your talent and efforts were well shown tonight, so congratulations. I'm also losing my voice, so I'm sorry I sound a little funky. I was wondering, from the inside as actors and production crew, what were you able to learn about the culture from which your play came through the words written by your playwright? What were you able to learn about the culture just through the words written by the playwright?
Is there a cast or crew who would like to pick that up first? Anyone can take a stab.
I can talk a little bit about Widowed Before Death, since it was a piece that originally a lot of the words that we were given were in Swahili. So that was definitely something that we came to the agreement with the time that we had, that we were going to get a fully translated into English version just for the time that we had versus trying to tackle all of the different language learning and the intention behind that. But just taking the time to look at the little details of names of things or how we referred to each other, or as a family, how you referred to each other in that family. I found it very interesting to do a little bit of research on in Kenyan culture of how certain names mean certain things and certain modes of transportation are used differently that we talked about a little bit. So I found that very interesting.
I can speak a little bit about it from the perspective of as the director of Monologue 2 and in Pearl Dragon. I know for Pearl Dragon, we had a fantastic dramaturg who gave us a lot of really great information about Taiwanese Canadian culture. So it was really cool to get to learn more about that and get to look at something from a perspective that's not really talked about, because obviously in America we don't really talk about Taiwanese Canadian as much as we talk about like Chinese American. So it was cool to learn more about that. And from Monologue 2, Stephen and I kind of had to sit down and figure out what are string hoppers, what kind of food is natural to this place that this character Lochni is from, and figuring out what kind of food is the opposite to this American grilled cheese, and using food as a metaphor was the way that we really opened up. And that was cool, learning more. Look up string hoppers. They're a really cool Sri Lankan food.
Hi, director for Bag. The script for Bag is packed with so much rich symbolism from Chinese culture, and having to analyze every single reference or animal or just idea in Bag was a lot of work, but it really paid off. There was so much I learned about animals, and specifically the moon and what the moon means to the Chinese, being a symbol of prosperity, family, a device for the emotion and whatnot. So yeah, really enjoyed doing research for that.
Thank you. I'll leave that question out there for another 10 seconds or so in case anybody is still reflecting, and then we'll take the next question from the floor. Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for that great question, Teresa. Would like to call on Jacob Horowitz, multi 1001 Plays alumni and alumni of our program at George Mason University. Jacob, welcome.
Hiya, really excited to be here. Great work, everyone. This program has a very special place in my heart. Sorry if I'm being quiet. I'm currently in London, England, and it is 1:50 in the morning, and my flatmate is asleep. So that's where we are with that. So my question goes to the playwrights, especially, but also the directors for specifically Monologue 2 and Dinner at the Pearl Dragon. My question is there, it was talked a little bit by Teresa, so I'm glad she brought that up. I had a similar idea about culture being brought up in particularly those two pieces because they're pieces about Canadian and another culture being done in an American audience setting. To the directors, was there a challenge with, it was talked a little bit, but like with taking the Canadianness through an American lens, if that makes any sense? And to the playwrights, did that change, seeing it being done in American sense, did that change anything about the piece for you?
I don't know if Paisley wants to talk, but I can talk for a little bit.
You're more than welcome. And we also have Hemali Ratnawira here, the playwright. And
If she would like to talk, I would love to hear what she has to say.
Sure, we'll let you tag team it. Hemali, why don't you go ahead and then we'll jump back to Albie.
Hi everyone. I am going to be keeping my camera off because I'm feeling slightly sick today. But thank you so much for taking the time to go through that scene, and it was wonderful to watch. So thank you for that. Just to speak a little about the process that I went through with writing this piece. So I was in a playwriting class last year under my professor, Janet Sears, who is here with us right now. And it was one of these pieces that I'd had to submit something and I really wanted to get something out. And this just kind of happened. And I ended up really liking it because this person is not used to, well, the character themselves is not used to talking about stuff like this clearly. And they're exploring their idea of identity and this like pull between two worlds of culture that they don't exactly understand. And I feel like it connected really well with the theme of trust in the sense of trust in self, trust in identity, trust in believing that you are enough and you don't need to be exactly what people expect you to be. You can just be yourself, you know? And this is just a step in the path this character is taking. It's gonna be a full-blown piece one day, but this is just a little section of it, which is why it's called Monologue 2. There are a few more. So yeah, I hope that helps answer your question.
Thank you so much, Hemali, and congratulations on getting the first piece out. Albie, do you want to toss it back that way?
I think I speak for everyone in saying I cannot wait to see Monologue 1. If this is Monologue 2. It's a really gorgeous piece, and I know the trust is kind of the thing for this, and there was a little bit of trust that I had to put in Steve, and Steve had to put in me, because this is a piece that is really beautiful and discusses a culture that I, as a director, am not a part of. And I had to step really carefully and make sure that I wasn't overstepping any boundaries. But I think no matter what your culture is, we can all relate to not relating, to feeling the feelings of alienation. And we can also definitely relate to food as a central place in culture. And that's where we really started.
Fantastic. Thank you. And I just wanted to make space in case Wang Tianyi would like to offer anything about Dinner at the Pearl Dragon, but we also have Christina Gross with a question. So we'll go to Christina, and if there's anything from Dinner at the Pearl Dragon, we'd love to hear it.
Hi, I'm actually the playwright for Dinner at the Pearl Dragon, so I thought I would say something, I guess.
Love it.
This piece is also from the same playwriting class that Emily was talking about with Janet. Oh my goodness, I'm so nervous. I didn't remember. I don't remember. First of all, I just want to say it's so lovely to hear it read by people who aren't me, and to have it out there and see what happens when you give your baby away. That was really cool. And also, I was really touched to sort of hear that someone is going to dramaturg a scene that I wrote was a lot more emotional than I thought it would be, even within this context. It was so lovely to hear that something silly I wrote in my bedroom has like taught people about my culture. That is just like absolutely lovely. And I think that has a lot to do with the piece as well, is about like learning about someone else's heritage and about home. And I think how this connects to trust for me is I know that like I have to trust someone tremendously to show someone like some like weird food that I eat from back home. I think there's nothing more intimate than that, truth be told. But yeah, there's nothing, I don't have anything significant to say, but what a lovely job, everyone, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Christina from Toronto, a playwright. Thank you so much. I see a hand from Erica.
Okay, so this is my question for Christina, because I noticed in the script that okay, I was reading the part for Eileen, and I noticed that she's mixed race, and I kind of resonated with the character because I'm actually biracial myself. I'm half Filipina and half white, so like also Asian, but like of course different ethnicity. So what was your inspiration for making her biracial?
My goodness, that is so cool. I'm Asian myself, and I'll say when I was watching it, I was like, my Asian radar is going off. Anyways, the inspiration to make her Asian was at first, well, the story's kind of like how I came about the plot of sort of, this is part of a bigger piece, was about like my own family. And so at first I sort of struggled with whether or not I would make Eileen like fully Taiwanese. But I thought that would be sort of disingenuous on my part because I can't speak to that like Asian identity. Like my identity is very different from someone who is either maybe like fully Taiwanese Canadian or like fully Taiwanese and then immigrated. Like that's a very different, there's a lot of nuances that I felt like I couldn't like do justice to. So I decided to make her biracial, and I realized that added a lot more complexity to the story as well, because it became not just a story about sort of like this cultural like confusion and this like kind of culture shock, but also about like grappling with your own identity when you're like, you know, that you're half white and you're like sitting with these people that like are also like, you have family who's white, but realizing that like you're not seen as that, and sort of like it became also the story actually about grappling with like what is whiteness, like what does it mean to be white, and I think that's very relevant for 2022 as like the world becomes more and more like mixed race, to be honest. I think it offered something very interesting to the play.
Yeah, with me, like when I was reading this, I was kind of thinking it more through the lens of my mother, because like for example, like me being like very white presenting, I don't go through the same experiences as someone like my mom or other Asian people who don't present as white. But like sometimes I've experienced microaggressions from like fully white people. So to a degree, like that's kind of where I like like kind of like place my experience in like relating to your work. But I really appreciate it because like I remember like finding out like the character is mixed race and I'm like, oh, okay, this is meant for me.
That's so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad that it spoke to you. Thank you.
Beaming from ear to ear. This is why we do this. Amazing. Trevor has a hand up. Let's go to Trevor.
Yes, I have a question for the playwrights. We've heard a bit of this from the Pearl Dragon playwright, but I was curious because I write plays myself. So I know whenever I start writing a play, I always have like a spark, like a clear singular picture in my mind that sort of expands out into a much larger thing. And so obviously we had the theme of trust, but I think further than that, I'd like to know what some of the other playwrights' sparks of inspiration were.
Great question. Yeah, Himali, take a stab.
Hello, everyone, again. Well, my inspiration was quite literally a grilled cheese sandwich, which is why the entire monologue centers around a grilled cheese sandwich. And I feel like the character is kind of going through this existential crisis via being, you know, um, they've they've had a little weed, and that's kind of why they're exploring these emotions that they don't normally go through. Um, and it's kind of interesting to watch, at least from the perspective of someone who wrote it, and seeing how someone else would interpret that. And I feel like there was one line in the monologue that really stood out to me and honestly made me emotional when it was said in today's event. It was, am I just some kind of half-baked Asian, which is kind of a summary of, I guess, the entire monologue, just like kind of struggling a lot with identity. And like I feel like it's just kind of tied into the fact that they're not necessarily dealing with this stuff while um, yeah, while they're, you know, going through everyday life, and it's kind of strange to them, which is why they keep repeating, this is really weird. This is really weird. I don't know why I'm feeling this. Yeah, so I feel like anything can really be a source of inspiration. And that's been something that's been really interesting for all of us in playwriting class to just, you know, think about, because there are so many different paths to exploration. There's food, there's songs, there's so many different ways to, you know, explore your own imagination and your own experiences. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. It's a great one.
Yes, thank you. No, yeah, I can absolutely relate to anything can be inspiration. I I often get most inspired when I'm not paying attention in class, staring off at a wall.
Good. Other playwrights, any other thoughts in that vein about inspiration or what inspired your piece? Great. Ah, I see a hand. Let's see. Oh, it's from Carlos from Peru. Welcome. So Carlos is here. He's one of our faculty mentors from our global partner in Peru. And though we didn't hear any of his students' work this evening, they'll be presented in other performances throughout the exchange. So Carlos, please, welcome.
Thanks, Nicholas. It's a commentary, only a little commentary. Well, congratulations for everyone. It's a great work. I enjoy see it and hear it. English is not my mother language, but I think it was a wonderful work with your voice, with the tempo and the rhythm and the timing of the text. And the intentions, for me, keep it interest all the time. So congratulations, great work, thanks.
Thank you so much, Carlos. Bienvenidos. Thank you very much. And it looks like we have a hand up. Let's see. Oh, it's from Wang Qian. Yes, please.
So hello everyone. Because it's morning in China, so firstly I want to say good morning everyone. And before I start my talking, I want to say for personal reasons, our teacher, Professor Gao, Alex from Nanjing U can't attend today's meeting. because he want me to convey his regret for he has been looking forward this cross-cultural drama exchange activities for a long time. And also he wished this event of 1001 Place a success. And for my script, I think I really think that other countries' students and other countries' actor and actors can have this great show for me. When I just writing this script, I think I wrote it based on a truly love story for my grandparents. And when I doing this work, I even didn't think about a lot of maybe the ideas or some like the expression the actors gave me before. So it's a great honor to say my playwright being displayed so nicely. And also because I'm the first group in China who have gave this show to us. So I really want to say that we have prepared a lot in the future. So please, everyone, just look forward to our show in China.
We're delighted, and we will share that date with everyone in just a moment. That's so great. Thank you so much for being with us early in the morning. Let's see. Jacob, still burning the late night oil. Jacob.
Sorry, another question.
Not at all.
So this is to the playwrights. I've been in your shoes a couple times with 1001 Plays. So first of all, I know the excitement that you're feeling. I just wanted to ask, I think it's funny the theme is trust. Because you're putting a lot of trust, like as a playwright, even just existing and being like, hey, director, here's my play, there's a lot of trust being put out. But when that director is across the world, I mean, there's so much trust. So could you speak a little bit about like the, I don't know, the fear and the euphoria and the trust of giving your play away to someone that you can't even see really besides on a screen? Thank you.
Thank you. Beautiful question. Any thoughts, playwrights, about the relationship between the theme, trust, and your giving your play to be interpreted by someone else? I saw Teresa. Oh, yep, Teresa, please.
I just wanted to say it was an absolute honor as a director to take on such a trusting gift from around the world. So I can't answer for any of the playwrights, but it felt like a very precious, fragile Christmas morning, if that makes any sense. It was constantly unwrapping something you wanted to be gentle with, but immediately start to play with. And it was a lovely experience from this side of the table.
Thank you. I thought I saw Himali's hand creep up, but I'm not sure.
Yes, it was up. Yeah, I was just gonna say, it was definitely very scary because, you know, when you write something, it's like your baby. It's very scary because you're always looking at it and you're like, okay, no, it's not done. It's not done. I can make this better. You're always just editing yourself, and it's really hard to get from the editing stage to the, okay, I think this is ready to be seen by the world, because that's just very scary, because then it's just open to criticism and it's open to people interpreting it, getting offended, feeling things. Like there's a lot of things that people can say and do, and it's just very scary putting your work out there. But yeah, I think it does connect a lot to today's theme, trust. And I'm glad I did it. And I'm sure a lot of other people feel that way too.
Thank you. I see Rachel's hand. Rachel.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, everyone. I wanted to say that I really enjoyed working and your work, Christina, about the Pearl Dragon, because I thought it was, I didn't know if it was a personal experience, but the trust that you demonstrated throughout the play, it was, I don't know, it just seemed really unique and just really special, and it was really great to be a part of, especially since I can relate to it in a different way, but and it was just really nice to learn about, just different, I didn't really realize, like, how, like, in Taiwan, how things are differently. And I just really enjoyed it. And I just wanted to say that because seemed like it might have been a personal experience, and I felt like it took a lot to, like you said, put, someone else had mentioned, put yourself out there and just make, and create something. And so, and if it's okay to share, I hope it's all right, but for me, I related to it in a different way, in the sense that, like, I identify as low vision, and so for me, I felt connected in the sense to Eileen, in the sense that I always have to, I'm always trying to, like, put my trust in other people to explain things, and so I just really was, it just kind of was a really nice piece, and I just wanted to say thank you for allowing all of us to work on it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rachel. That's a beautiful resonance. I'm often struck by that. I'll say, just as a personal note, the many resonances that we see here in reflecting on these themes. I'm dumbstruck almost by the level of care that the playwrights show for one another and for their readers, and that the readers show for their playwrights. But that is in part because of the commitment to those many layers of storytelling that are possible. And we never know how our words will land. But we do endeavor to be trusting, and that exercise, I think, is a beautiful thing. So thank you. We have time for maybe one or two more questions from the floor. Certainly don't want to shut anything down, but we are coming up to our time. Any other burning questions, curiosities, comments, interest? I see Janet waving at us, and I also see our dean, Rick Davis, so we'll circle back to Rick after Janet.
Hi, congratulations, everybody. That was so wonderful. It really reminded me about, sometimes we write things to try and express changes we want to see in the world, or just to tell our stories, to add those stories to the world. But I also think that there's something transformative that happens in the creative process of taking these words from a playwright and rendering it in front of an audience. And there's something magical that I feel like I've been part of. So I want to thank you all for that. I just wanted to speak to whether it's the actors or the playwrights from Brazil or Kenya with the Night Shift by Eduardo. One of the questions I have for the actors, for instance, is about, and the directors, about design and the process, and for Widowed Before Death. It's interesting to see you do that all live. And I was, again, so interested in just little things, how long you worked on it. I'm interested in process. I find I learn so much from about process. So, and also that one and this one, what was your process? It was really interesting because, some classes in Canada still actually remote. So it was interesting to see two people together, that was quite theatrical. And I'm wondering about, your process. Are you roommates, or is your school fully open? So it's about the plays, but it's maybe a bit more too.
Thank you so much. I'm sure that'll yield quite a number of responses. Let's start with, I see a hand from Lillian.
Hi, so with this one or that one, the script, when you first look at it, seems very straightforward. And my first thought was there's got to be more to this. How can I make this as real to everyone here as possible? So immediately I started this discussion with the actors so we could develop these characters and see what we would discover based off of our own experiences in the real world and whatnot. And there are a lot of moments in that script in particular that kind of hint at body dysmorphia. And poor relationship with oneself or their own parents. So we really played into that in the first couple of rehearsals and discovered this could be an extremely heavy piece if we allow it to be. But of course, when we are living our everyday lives, we are not feeling emotion 100% of the day. So I wanted the relationship between these two characters, I mean, the circumstances that we came up with is that they do not have a great relationship to their parents nor to their bodies, but they've been best friends forever. But they've never really addressed everything going on in here with each other. So when we started working around with that idea, I wanted to play with the silence between them and the tension, because one is really sabotaging the other, and it's whether or not one is picking up on that and whatnot. And Ellie and Shayla are here, and they have their hand raised, so I want to pass it to them so that they could talk about their friendship and their process in rehearsals.
Right, hello. Thankfully, we are super close friends in real life as well. So we were fortunately able to do this in my dorm room, as she does live right above me. We live in the same building and we're always with each other anyway. So the second that we found out that we were able to do that, we immediately started working with the blocking, with all the different stuff that we could do with the play. And I'm just so grateful that we were able to do it together and get as much out of it that we did with being able to do it together.
I liked that we did get to add the blocking, like costume changes, stuff like that, because I feel like it let us connect more with the scene and do more with it and build more off of, instead of just doing the dialogue. And I also just really like that I got to do it with one of my best friends.
That's fantastic. Thank you. Why don't we go to Teresa? Teresa has something for the night shift.
Hello, Ms. Sears. I want to thank you for your question. And I also, it's late enough that I can fangirl for a moment. I'm a big fan of your writing, Ms. Sears, and thank you very much for being here tonight. I wanted to portray with the night shift, with the help of the two amazing artists that were on the show, this idea of intimacy, even though we were distant. So we practiced a lot with choreography, and we practiced a lot with recognizing where Trevor's room ended and Ahmet's room began. So we played a lot of very Viola Spolin theater games of imagination. And we were able to, gentlemen, are you both still on camera? Point to where the clock is. Right. Okay. Where do cigarettes go? Yeah. So they had this kind of imagery of where everything worked, and that was 100% based off of the two actors, about their commitment to imagination and play. And that was a real refreshing gift as a director, to play with two young people who were so ready and willing to play. So that was our process, was about play and imagination.
Thank you. Thank you, Teresa.
Can I just ask one further question of Teresa? the spatial relationship between both screens was really clear, but your decision also to put it in black and white and give it a quasi film noir feel was really, how did that come to you?
I am a vintage film nerd. And when I feel the thematic elements of grit and even how dated a cigarette feels now, I immediately go to Casablanca, or I immediately go back to The Third Man with Orson Welles. So that combination between what I told Kristen today in our meeting, anytime I see people drinking coffee and smoking cigarettes, I think of the movie Coffee and Cigarettes, which is a great modern black and white film. And so I went, there is a film noir quality here. And with the robust baritones of these two gentlemen, it was perfectly played in there. Perfectly. So it was all from them, but they inspired me to think of other things.
Brilliant. Thank you. I want to go to Rick Davis, who has been burning with a question, or it looked like the hand was coming up. So,
no, I'm not going to ask a question. I'm going to reflect for a second on this evening because I've been part of or witnessed many of these exchanges, and they've all been tremendously satisfying, as was tonight. Tonight, the plays were excellent, the productions beautiful, but what I wanted to call out was the quality of the discussion is the highest that it's been in my experience of 1001 plays, and that is to me just as important as the work itself, because it is about an exchange of ideas and cultures and people and approaches. And I've just felt like I learned so much tonight from the after play discussion, and to the sort of the more experienced theater professionals on the call. I think we all know that post-play discussions sometimes just don't work. They're obligatory, right? And maybe I see some younger heads nodding too, so maybe you've experienced this as well. This was a discussion that was full of revelation and real sharing, and I just wanted to call that out and thank everybody for that. And it was a beautiful evening all around. Not to minimize the work of the playwrights, directors, dramaturgs, and production, because that was what enabled the discussion, obviously. But it was just a wonderful conversation.
thank you very much. Thank you, Rick. Rick Davis is our dean in the College of Visual and Performing Arts. For those who don't know, we're very grateful for his support. Thank you. I see. Let's see. We are just about at time. Oh, Teresa, we have a hand.
I just wanted to acknowledge Albie and Jacob's birthday.
Thank you.
It's also Marin's birthday, our lighting designer.
Oh, Marin too!
So it's everybody's birthday!
Sorry, that's it. They shared their birthday with us. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you so much for calling that to our attention. Happy birthday to all birthday celebrants in the room. Albie and Jacob, thank you. Marin, thank you for being with us. As we come to the end of our evening, I just want to leave a few seconds of space for anyone else who has anything that they'd like to voice before we conclude. Thank you so much to all of our faculty mentors for being with us. Oh, let's see. I see a hand from Eduardo. Welcome. Please.
Hi there. I'd just like to say thank you for Teresa and the actors who gave life to my play. It was brilliant. It was amazing to watch this. Really, really amazing. Thank you for the great work. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you for being here. And oh, CJ, our faculty mentor from Kenya.
Thank you very much, everyone. I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for giving Felix an opportunity to have his play performed. They were not able to join because of the time Here, when we started, it was at 3:30 a.m. And they're in school, so it was not possible for them to join. But I want to say that I've really enjoyed and I've learned quite a lot. And I think this is a great opportunity for our young playwrights and actors, and also for us professional directors and also educators. So thank you very much for the platform.
Thank you, CJ. Thank you very much for being with us. And I see a hand from Paulo, from our faculty mentor from Santa Catarina, Brazil.
Yeah, so hi, Nick. Just to say some things, of course, there are some language barriers, and this is the reason why our Brazilian playwrights, Eduardo has just spoken now, but I'm pretty sure that Talia would like to say some things about her play, and Eduardo probably more things about his play, but because of the language barriers, I think they become shy, and this is an issue. This is another issue of this project that's becoming more and more complex now with our new partners from Kenya, Peru, and South Korea. There are so many issues we could discuss here, and I didn't say anything because I was thinking and wondering about how different our cultures are. When I listen to students talking about the importance of the parents in Talia's play, that's something that I'm pretty sure she would never think about that. And this says so much about North American, United States theater that is so informed by, you know, all the tradition of Moscow Art Theater and then actor studio and so on and so on. There are so many things we could discuss here. The things about family, for example, family. So it seems it's clear that's so important for Kenya and China because this is so basic. And then we have Brazilian playwrights not talking about family at all. And it seems to me that from North Americans, from the United States, it's easier maybe to, the Canadian play resonates more because these are two very mixed cultures with lots of races together, differently from China and Kenya, that of course there are some race issues, and Kenya was a European colony for a time. China had issues with foreigners as well, but it's different. Even Brazil that has lots of races together, the approach is totally different. So I just want to say that's wonderful to be part of this project because there are so many issues that come up when we listen to the plays, and also the directors. The directions were awesome. The silences, the timing, the black and white option that Teresa had was wonderful. Janet mentioned that was wonderful. So I'm really happy, and I'm pretty sure that all my folks here from Brazil, they are all happy to be part of this project. Thank you so much, Nick, Kristen, and all of you from GMU and all the partners too. Thank you.
We're delighted. Thank you, Paulo. Thank you for being with us as always. I see a hand from Lillian.
I just wanted to say really quickly how grateful I am for this opportunity. I know many of the students here, but I wanted to touch on the theme for 1001 Plays for this performance of trust and the universality of that. I think it's beautiful, and the fact that there are so many different aspects of trust that can be explored through these cultures, and yet here we are finding crossover. And at the end of the day, being reminded that we are all human, and yeah, just the beauty of that. So it is refreshing. This is why we all come to the theater. This is why we all turn to art. And yeah, just grateful for the opportunity. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much. On that note, I think that we will close. It has been a beautiful discussion, and there are opportunities for many more such discussions and much more engagement. These are 6 of the 31 plays being presented in this exchange this year. So please join us for the next readings hosted by our global partners. On March 12th, we have Nanjing University. March 17th, Santa Catarina Federal University. March 19th, Mason, Korea. April 1st, Universidad Peruana de Ciencias Aplicadas in Peru. And May 1st, University of Toronto. And we will also have a reading in Kenya from Moi University. That date will be announced soon. So we do hope you'll join us. We have to thank all of you, starting with our global partners in Brazil, Canada, China, Kenya, Peru, and South Korea, for your presence with us, for your engagement, for your playwrights, for your plays, for your courage and your trust. Thank you very much. This program is made possible with support from George Mason University School of Theater and our College of Visual and Performing Arts. We must also thank Clayton Austin, Ken Elston, and Kevin Murray, former directors and avid supporters, directors of our School of Theater and avid supporters. The Friends of Theater have been invaluable. Thank you to the Friends of Theater at Mason and our generous donors, especially Sherry Watkins, for her marketing support. Thank you. And we'd like to thank our director, Joe LeBranner, director of our School of Theater, and a big thank you to our dean, Rick Davis, for his unwavering support. And lastly, thank all of you. We do this because we are here to exchange with one another, and 1001 Plays wouldn't be what it is without you. So with that, I say thank you, stay well and safe, and I wish you a good night. Hope to see you at the next readings. For more information, please do visit our website. Thank you. Thank you all. Good night. Thank you.